Welcome, I'm the Deadwood Jedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. I'm again in the test account for Raid. I am looking at the Shadowkin factions again. Much thanks to Plarium for putting this together for us. It's like a huge thing that they've been able to do this for us. We've been asking for it for a long time. We're able to give feedback a little earlier. We're able to test out the champions a little sooner and able to give you guys this kind of exclusive information right at the beginning of these champion drops. So really excited about that. I'm hopeful this goes forward. So a couple things. We're going to be looking at Yoshi the Drunkard today. It is the Fragment Fusion champion. It's the big prize for this faction for this time period. So I figured all of you guys are going to want to see that. And I figured let's go ahead and jump in and start with him so you guys can tell, is this somebody I want to whale out for, or do I just let it come as it will? I will say this. Whenever you have the opportunity to get a Fragment champion, get them. Always get them, because it's so hard to get a legendary in this game. That's really the point of a lot of the collection part of this game. Get them. Doesn't matter how hard it is to do. If you can do it, go for it. That said, Yoshi doesn't blow my socks off. He's not like a champion that I'm going to go crazy and be like, yes, I got him. Everything's solved. It's not that kind of a champion. That said, there's hardly anybody new in the Shadowkin. They're all new in the Shadowkin faction. Nobody has them, so obviously worth getting, even if nothing else, for the future faction wars that'll come up. But that said, Yoshi is good. I definitely like him. I think he's going to be really useful in Arena, and I think he's going to be really useful in dungeon work, especially the Doom Tower. So I'm excited to try him out there and give you guys kind of an example of how he can be used. And I think that's going to be really good for us. Two quick things before we get into showing the champion. One, I am going to have a video down below, a link to my Game On account, a video I'm doing on all the increased accuracy champions in this game. So kind of give you an idea. Yoshi brings an increased accuracy. I figured let's cross compare him to some of the other increased accuracy champions in this game and see which one is the best, where you would want to use them, because he's really good, but I don't necessarily know that he's the best increased accuracy champion in this game. I actually think the best one came out in the patch previously. But I want to show you that. Also, if you guys enjoy the music in this video, if you enjoy the music in any of my YouTube videos, check out my Soundstripe link down below in the comment and description of this video. You can use the code Deadwood Jedi and get 15% off, as well as 3 free songs to start. I'm very happy to be able to share that with you guys. I've got a playlist all set and ready to go, so hopefully I'll be able to share that with you guys soon as well, so you can actually find the specific music that you're getting in this video, and all the other videos that I do. So really excited about all that. That said, let's jump into the champion and take a look at his kit. Okay guys, this is Yoshi the Drunkard. As you can see, I do like him. He's got the big old gourds, the swords on the back, the big old staff there to hit people with. He's got those massive beads. Very Chinese influence. I think that's Chinese influence right there, Japanese influence. Very cool looking dude. I like the orange beard and hair. Solid guy. So as always, they do a great job with the description there. The tattoo's always nice. Everything about him is pretty cool to look at. As far as his skills go, and I think this is where we have to start. Let's look at his kit. Every one of his skills brings something to the table, and that's what we want to keep in mind. He's got a stun on his A1. Books up to a 40% chance to land. He's got a decreased accuracy debuff and an HP burn debuff on his A2. And that books up to 100% chance to land. He's got a increased accuracy buff and increased attack buff on his A3. It's an AoE for all of his allies. Not to mention places a true fear debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. That books up to 75% chance. If the enemies have increased attack, it books up to 100% chance. Definitely a nice skill right there. He does take a few books. We're looking at, 14 books, which is ridiculous, but hey, that's what it is. The passive ability here is really one of the things that's most interesting about him. Fills his champion's turn meter by 4% each time an enemy receives a buff. So this is a great opportunity to interrupt your enemy, a la Valkyrie. Valkyrie is obviously one of those champions that really messes up an arena team, because every time you buff yourself, she goes faster and can totally interrupt your turn order. Well, Yoshi has a similar ability here. So a lot of potential with that. And on top of that, he has a nice little all battle speed aura of 19%. So there's a lot to like here about Yoshi. One of the things I don't like about him is this kit seems a little bit all over the place, right? There's no real synergy that says, oh, this champion's good in this one particular area. And it's one of those things, do I want an all-arounder or do I want someone that's specifically great for one area of the game? Generally, I like those specialists. I find them easier to use, kit out, and place into my teams. But that said, when you're progressing, all-arounders are really valuable, and Yoshi's kind of one of those all-arounders. Getting the increased attack and increased accuracy buff, those are really good for your champions to be able to land the debuffs, be able to hit harder. It's going to be really good for champions like Ray, who or even Astralon, champions that do both massive hits as well as massive debuffs. That's really useful skill. The True Fear is great for crowd control. The HP burn and decreased accuracy is going to be good for bosses, right? Make sure that they don't hit you with their debuffs as much. Get that burn going so that they're constantly burning down. And the stun is always solid. It's an A1 ability, just be able to stun somebody. That's always a really good skill. So there is a lot to like about this kit. It's just a little bit all over the place. So I see him being most useful for progression. I see him being really good in Doom Tower. I see him being very good in dungeon runs in general. And I see him being pretty good in Arena. If you can interrupt an enemy, this skill could be really useful, I think. So that's kind of where we want to check him out. So let's go ahead and let's take him first in Arena and get a run or two in and check him out, see what he can't do. So here we go. We have a team right here with increased accuracy. I think we'll be able to go first, or increase attack with Arbiter. If we can interrupt, I see a lot of potential. Now you can see I'm bringing a lot of speed here. I do want to be able to take our turn first, and then we'll be able to bring Ray in to hopefully clean things up for us. So let's check it out. Now Ray, as you know, will place a freeze and strip buffs off the enemy if there's enough accuracy. It's a little bit difficult getting that accuracy high because she'll also deal damage. So you have to build her with attack damage and build her with that accuracy. Difficult to do. A champion like Yoshi makes it a lot easier. So let's go ahead and just run our stuff here. Apparently we are going to be considerably faster than them, which is great. Let's see if we can get their Arbiter to go here. They get that increased attack buff, and we get a little bit of turn meter boost, so we are able to go now. We'll go ahead and put up the increased accuracy, increased attack right there. You see the True Fears go out, right? Perfect. We did get a resist here from Madame Saris, but not a big deal. And then let's go ahead and drop. There it is. Look at that. Hits hard, reduces the freeze. We get the increased attack buff, so we're hitting harder. We get the accuracy, so we're landing that on all of the enemies, which is great. And that's pretty much it. That right there is game over. There you go. You see that HP burn and decreased accuracy go out. It's kind of a cool skill too. I like the little fireballs going out. That's the optimal scenario right there that you saw. It's not always going to work like that. It's very easy to be interrupted the other way around, and that could definitely be problematic. So he doesn't bring an increased speed buff. He doesn't bring a turn meter boost. So he's just coming in with the buff and the debuff. That True Fear is kind of crucial to be able to control the enemy. Otherwise, we can easily be cut in ourselves. So these are things that you're going to want to kind of consider when you're looking at this. If we face a team like this, my guess is depending on how fast our Arbiter is, we could easily get interrupted here. But this will be another good example to be able to show it. So their Arbiter goes first, their Lysandra goes, boom, boom. Even with all those buffs, we didn't get enough turn meter boost to interrupt them. This is kind of the negative thing. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at Yoshi. I do like him, but there are, he's not going to be a panacea. That said, if you're in gold 4 or lower, he's going to be really good for your arena team. Really good. I think it just gets a little bit harder as you start getting higher up, as you start getting the plat, where teams are better speed tuned and they're just fast. Then it becomes a lot harder to get there. So let's take a quick look at Yoshi just so you have an idea of how I built him. Now, the way I built my Yoshi, just whatever, as tanky as I can, but we got 254 speed, 467 accuracy. That was all I cared about. I want to get the accuracy so we can land those debuffs. I want to get the speed so we can go and interrupt people. As you can see, that's still not always going to be the case, so it's going to be a little bit tricky. As far as the build goes, I went all the way down to take Eagle Eye so we can really get that accuracy up, and as much turn meter manipulation stuff as I can. I want rapid response, so when we place buffs and they come off, we get a turn meter boost. I took Arcane Celerity, so when we place debuffs and they come off, we get a turn meter boost. Lore Steel, so that all those accuracy sets get even bigger bumps. all of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory, and I wanted to come down the defensive tree down to Cycle Revenge. I think you can get a lot of benefit building him with immunity gear, building him with a variety of different ways, but I think the big keys are speed and accuracy. So let's go ahead and take a look at him in the dungeons. So we will get that increased accuracy buff, we'll get the increased attack buff. Dragon shouldn't be much of a challenge at all for us. There you go, we get those buffs going, and everybody's just going to kind of run through and do their damage as a result. You can see there goes those 2 debuffs with the decreased accuracy and the HP burn. It doesn't matter with Ethos, he's just going to nuke them all. That A1 skill, we don't get the stun out, that's okay. I don't see him being a huge damage dealer. That said, I haven't built him that way, but his base stats aren't really, he's an attack-based champion. His base attack isn't super high, and I haven't seen anything to tell me that he's going to be a really good damage dealer in that capacity anyway. Now, it is nice to have an HP burn. The randomness is not so great, but that decreased accuracy is good as far as trying to resist the enemy debuff. So when you're facing a boss like the dragon here, we should get a couple of resists if it comes down to it, just based off that decreased attack, or decreased accuracy I should say. He's not going to get a chance to place him on us, but this is going to be especially useful against things like Doom Tower, where we are facing bosses that are going to put a lot of debuffs on us that we don't want to take. And it's a lot more common to build resist on Doom Tower bosses, so that's going to be really useful there for us. But as you can see, he's going to be doing his work. He puts up buffs, puts out debuffs, and that's pretty much what he does. Solid champion for that, I think. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, simple guy. Getting that increased accuracy is going to be really good and really helpful for us, especially against the Doom Tower and any other places. All right, let's finish it out, guys. There we go. Okay, great. Okay, let's get into it. Let's see what we can do here with this. Kind of letting it run, seeing Yoshi do his thing. Get that HP burn going. The true fears are out there. The amount of control that he brings is just really insane. Now, obviously, I have him paired with everybody else, so it might be a little bit difficult to really discern how effective Yoshi is on his own. But I think it's pretty clear to see that he can be pretty good. I would not be surprised if someone's like, oh yeah, I could solo Frostbiter with Yoshi. You've seen that with several champions. You build enough immortal gear on anybody pretty much, enough resistance, enough accuracy, they're able to solo most of these bosses by themselves. Slow but effective. I would not be surprised if Yoshi's one of them. Now, I don't have that kind of gear to be able to build that necessarily. I struggled making what's his name, making Tyrant able to solo spiders. So it's not like I can do that with a ton of champions. Even though I can put my best stuff on Yoshi right now, I just don't see that being a very viable way to go about it. But you can see he gives you that increased attack buff, or increased accuracy buff, increased attack buff, and makes that HP burn work for you. So he's got a lot of potential to him, to be sure. Got through that pretty easy. And I think here's where we're really going to want to see. So it's hard for us to land these debuffs, right? There we go. We did get the HP burnout. Got the cleanse there. Yeah, with that HP burnout, all of a sudden everything becomes a lot easier to land in general. But yeah, this is not going to be like a super difficult thing. It's just going to be about staying alive, and that's what the entire team is going to be there for, honestly. But yeah, we get that increased accuracy buff out, and it gets stripped, unfortunately. But one thing you can see is that HP burn is landing on the spiderlings. So So that's definitely something that's happening there. He's good. He's not perfectly speed tuned for this, but yeah, he's going to be able to do some work for you. You can see the true fears go out. That's always a nice way to kind of mitigate some of the enemies, especially like the little ads on the side there. So that's definitely a good thing there. But yeah, tons of potential to him. Gonna make this pretty easy clap here. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but yeah, I'll let you guys kind of watch this and we'll come back. Congratulations! We've beaten the Doom Tower. I think you can see how useful Yoshi is. Yoshi actually did a lot of damage there because of those HP burns. So it's not like he's a heavy damage dealer. I still kind of stand by that. I'm not really interested in testing out maxing his crit rate and crit damage and seeing what he can do. I can be proven wrong, but I don't think that's going to be his strong suit. His strong suit is going to be as a debuffer and a buffer for your team. And I think you can see right there how useful he was. We were able to keep debuffs on a lot. Having that increased accuracy buff is really helpful, especially against the Frostbiter. The HP burn, really good. The True Fears, really nice, guys. And you saw how easy it was to get through the waves, even to get to them. I think you're going to see that in a lot of the Doom Tower stuff. So Yoshi, definitely a great support champion, I think. Well, that's Yoshi the Drunkard. I really like this champion, guys. I think he's going to be very good for progression. I think he's going to be good all the way around. Definitely want to try and get him if you can. He was way better in dungeon runs than I was anticipating. Still pretty solid in arena. I think the turn meter boost is a little bit small, makes him not quite as significant a booster as I would like, but that True Fear is a really strong debuff, as you guys know. So I do see him having a place in arena. I'm not sure at what level. I'm not sure if he's going to be a platinum arena champion like Claude or some other champions, but I do feel like he is quite good. It should help a lot, especially with progression as you're going through this game. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. If you do want to see my take on some of the other increased accuracy champions, go ahead and click that Game On link down below. If you enjoyed the music that we played today, go ahead and check out Soundstripe. Use that discount code DeadwoodJedi. Save yourself 15%. Get a couple free songs, and yeah, enjoy some really awesome music. This has been fun, guys. We got some more coming up, so stay tuned to the channel. We got more coming. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the link, hit the notification bell, and like the video. I've been talking too long. Let's get out of here. Thanks again, guys. Till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.